Tonight on the Cooligans, we are talking about the SheBelieves Cup and how likely is it that the U.S. women's national team is going to dominate per usual. We also talk about Everton defeating Liverpool at Anfield. Let us go.
That's right. Plus, we also talked to Julian Gressel, who we've talked to so many years ago when we did our show in Atlanta. What's changed and who's waiting for him to play for the U.S. men's national team? Is it us? Maybe, but it also might be Greg Berhalter. That and more today on the Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Yes, let's go. Let's do this. Another one. All right, let me get real close to the camera, nice and blurry, okay?
Yo, I don't want to see your skin, dog. I want to just see one blur.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
That's right, it is. And I'm Alexis Guerreros.
That's right. We nailed it again, you know?
I mean, we're automatic at this point.
Getting our names right at the top of the show. Better than, my SATs, I'll be honest.
Yo, you get 200. How did I not even get the 200 points for that?
Excited about today's show because we have an incredible guest. We're going to be joined by Julian Gressel of DC United.
Back on the show, returning.
Okay, the homie, okay?
That's right.
So much to cover. And as always, yes, we are the Cooligans. We are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that has ever lived.
That's right. It also happens to be the gulliest, which we almost forgot to say. But I feel like you kind of knew that already. You know what I mean?
Okay, because of the SAT thing. You guys get it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe us remembering things isn't on the top of our skill list, okay?
Okay, yeah. We're surprised we're on TV as well, all right?
Yeah. This is on TV. No,
we're more shocked than you are. So, yes, Julian will be joining us in a bit. We have a lot to discuss. I think we should start with some U.S. women's national team news. Is it
news, baby? I mean, come on. Oh, is the women's national team winning games?
Okay, news break.
A ticker just comes up on my screen. You can see, oh my God, it's dots. I think the women's national team, I think the story here is, yes, you were going to say the SheBelieves Cup.
Yeah.
The story here is, they're just not winning by as much as we're used to.
This is what, and it's unsettling. It's making us uncomfortable. It's like, wait. A listener actually has to do some work? No. That is not what we do here.
Again, she goes out there to relax, okay? So you guys need to make it so that she can relax.
Okay, she sees the fixture on the calendar. She's like, okay, I'm glad the U.S. soccer scheduled me a spa day, all right? Really a me day.
Work on my tan,
But no, it's been pretty wild. Obviously, they've been already 2 matches against Canada, which was just a 1-0 victory, a goal from Rose Lavelle. It took, Vlaco bringing in the heavy hitters. He's like, okay, look, all right, I'm going to sub in the Monstars, and then we're going to try to get these 3 points.
Has Canada been playing pretty well? All right, well, then let's bring in some of the greatest players on earth. And I think the story there also is like, I wasn't sure. It always looked like the U.S. was better than Canada in that first match. But I wasn't sure Canada wasn't going to find a way to sneak a goal in. You know what I mean?
And they had great chances. And this is where you see maybe the level of like, whether it's intimidation from the U.S. women's national team. Maybe a listener, when she's in net, maybe players are genuinely like, yo, I don't know what to do right now, or great positioning, or she makes people second guess what shot they're about to take. I forgot who exactly was going to take the shot, but it was a bad pass, I think, for Becky Sauerbrunn. 1v1. How many times do you see the U.S. women's national team goalkeeper in a 1v1 situation with any player? And and it was just a bad shot. Like they can't finish their chances. Brazil had the same exact thing. They just like, there's something that happens. Like Debinha, when she's wearing a North Carolina Courage shirt, bro, she is banging them from 30 yards out, right?
Doesn't matter who's in goal.
Doesn't matter who's in goal. Put the Brazil shirt on against a U.S. shirt. it's like I forgot how to do this. You know what I mean?
I just think it's one of those things. It's like we've had this conversation so many times on our show, right? Like goalkeepers think like, or what defenders say, if I have to make a tackle, that's because we've made a mistake. That's a last ditch effort. The goalkeeper says, if I got to make a stop, that means the defenders weren't doing their job. How often does it happen that the U.S. women's national team defenders don't do their job? I mean, we saw it more against Brazil.
Yeah.
Right. I would say that's the most shaky I've seen the back line in a long time.
Yeah. You know what the biggest surprise was? And you know, we saw Vlaco talk about this, about how where we, like, he sort of sees where the level is, and the only thing they can do is just try to get better because the other countries are going to catch up. And there were a couple of Brazilian, the winger, I forgot her name, but there was a couple times where again, we're not used to seeing this, just the center backs getting beat, just like straight up, like in a foot race. And it's like, we're not used to other countries having more athletic players than us. And we saw that from Brazil for sure.
Well, look, when we did the ICC Futures, right, we got to see in real time that the technical ability of some of these other countries as far as their development of the women's side is not only catching up, probably beating our capabilities, right? Yeah. We need to find a couple more Rose Lavelles, you know what I mean, if we're going to stay on top there. But now we're starting to see that it's, you know, it's like, well, we could always bludgeon them with our athleticism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not the only ones anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think what we're starting to see now is like, we need to start to catch up on the technical abilities, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, Brazil, especially especially now we're watching some matches, we were watching friendlies before, and the U.S. was just absolutely dominant. But now we're seeing, these games, not that the other ones don't matter, but like clearly there's a trophy on the line, and you see that the effort is a little bit different. And especially from Canada, especially from Brazil, there is Brazil, especially they were pressing. They were really trying to make the U.S. women's national team uncomfortable. And this is
Martha single-handedly was like, I'm gonna tell you how to press. I don't know if the coach said this or not, but y'all press.
Yeah. And look, and the coach for Brazil is obviously Pia Sundhage, who coached the U.S. women's national team in the past. So there were just so many, like, the effort was clearly there, and if they could have finished chances, the result could have been very, very different. And but it was good to see some players come back. Obviously, Alex Morgan getting to start, playing great. Being aggressive too. The game against Brazil was interesting because there were a lot of pretty hard fouls, and the ref was just like, yellow cards, never heard of them. Okay,
MMA rules out here. Mixed mommy arts.
All right, the SheBelieves Cup is being held on Fight Island. All right,
that's why we built a cage around the field, guys. Get in there. And of course, obviously, the celebration. Shouts to Sloan.
That's right, Megan Rapinoe.
Baby. Come on now.
That was dope.
We got more. We get back after this.
Hey, you guys, it's Chrissy Mewis, and I just kicked it with the Cooligans.
Hi, baby. We're back on a Cooligans Living Room FC. And Christian, I'm sure you want to talk about this. The big win over the weekend. West Ham beating Tottenham 2-1. Let's go.
Yep. Okay. Hammers.
West Ham till I die. No. Okay, look, Christian. Everton hadn't won at Liverpool since 1999.
Okay.
And as everyone on this damn show and all our fans know, you seem to be pretty excited about it. So just go for it. Welcome to your chance to run around the room as an Everton fan. You're treating this like you're going to get a star over your badge.
Where's the trophy? Merseyside is blue. Liverpool is blue. This is incredible, right? So Everton wins.
Don't say right. I'm not going to agree to that.
Everton wins at Anfield for the first time since 1999. I mean, just think about how baggy our jeans were back then, Alexis. It was
you
a
could fit
different
the
time.
squad in my jeans back then.
Okay, we were rocking Gerbeau, we were rocking Echo. All
I
right,
had a Parasuco with the stripe down the side.
okay.
You couldn't even see 95% of my Timbs. They were covered in denim.
So absolutely wow. They win 2-0. Look, I'm watching this game. Everybody went in, especially after Everton just lost against Fulham.
Yep.
And then they end up beating Liverpool at Anfield for the first time in forever, in over 20 years. My expectations were not super high. My expectations were not very high when I watch any game, any Everton game. But the fact that
Told you you're an Arsenal fan in hiding.
but just incredible. A goal from Richarlison, then a penalty from Gylfi Sigurdsson.
No, it wasn't just a goal from Richarlison. I mean, the whistle blew, and the next thing you know, Richarlison is celebrating. And that, I got to be honest, that right there, I was like, Liverpool are losing this game. Liverpool are not making the top four. Liverpool they're either going to, either people are going to start saying that the Klopp, thing is done and he wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Oh, he won Champions League and Premier League, but that's it. Like, you're going to start to hear that kind of passive-aggressive anger from English fans. Or you're going to start to hear, like, we're buying this defender in the offseason. Just the list of defenders are going to buy. And already the news is like, Marcelo, we're thinking about it. Like, who's the most expensive defender? We'll buy him,
Yeah. Who's on the bench in La Liga that we can bring on? Surreal. Yeah. The fact that do
you think this match would have been the same result had the fans been in the stadium?
I mean, a lot of people have been talking about that, and my honest answer is I don't care. Like Stephen A. Smith, I'm here to tell everybody, no, I don't care, because this is, Everton were at one point in first in the Premier League early on in the season, and had a couple bad games and not finding the consistency that they would like to have. But Carlo Ancelotti mentioned the same thing.
I thought you were just gonna call him Carlo. I'm like, you're on first name basis with coach. I manage. What up, Carlo?
He basically said we're trying to just get to Europe, and a Europa League spot would be huge for Everton.
So Everton in 7th with 40 points, Liverpool in 6th with 40 points, a better goal differential. Mm-hmm. What do you think happens at the end of the season? Are you finishing above Liverpool? And how hard are you partying if that's the case?
We're finishing above Liverpool. You even mentioned like the concerns with Liverpool, and it actually made me think of Claudio Ranieri, who won the Premier League and then was fired the following year because of bad results. I don't see that happening to Klopp, but Klopp is kind of in this position right now where, like,
people are questioning his tactics. Have people figured out the press? The whole line.
How much of the past success will give him, how much of a leash to keep going. But I think they're in a better position as far as like him keeping his job than Leicester City were when after Ranieri, because they were worried about getting relegated. That was like much more severe.
And people are already like starting to pick apart the team. Like, apparently Sadio Mane, was getting looked at by Barcelona. Does he now go to Barca? And how do you replace someone like Sadio Mane? People are talking about Roberto Firmino. Oh, Firmino not as good as blah blah blah. I can't really, never scored against Everton, and he's not looking as good. And do we need to replace? You're starting to pick apart a Champions League winning club now.
You know what? I'll be honest. I love it. Okay,
like, more of this. I just love that this is a catastrophic season for Liverpool, and this is the greatest season for Everton. And y'all are even on points.
Look, there's a lot to look forward to, right? And we have a game in hand, so let's go. So I'm hoping the next match, Everton is above Liverpool. So I'm stoked. Okay, we got a lot more show left. Obviously, Julian Gressel will be joining us in a little bit, so come right back. All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. Again, we will have Julian Gressel of DC United coming right up after this next break. But we have a couple unboxings to do. We got some more illustrious gifts.
This is my Everton beating Liverpool right here.
We got honestly the best fans, the best supporters. So thank you for sending us some stuff. And the first one I wanted to highlight. This is from the Austin FC supporters group Los Verdes.
That's right.
Over here. Thank you for the scarf. Appreciate it very
much.
much.
To everyone in Texas as well.
Yes.
Power starting to come back, and I think almost everyone has their power back, which is incredible.
Yeah, and then people are still dealing with either not having water or boiling water advisories and things like that. So,
or their houses have completely fallen apart from all the stuff that's happened in conjunction with this superstorm. And I got to say, for those of you who didn't get a chance to vacation in Cancun for a few days, we feel absolutely terrible for you. And we hope that, things come back to normal. For anyone who lost a loved one or something, I mean, we feel absolutely horrible. But we try to do a little bit of charity. I know 4 of the clubs there in Texas, the Houston Dynamo and the Dash, Austin FC, speaking of, and FC Dallas, each of them individually set up their own fundraisers to help their local community. So we try to help out with that as much as possible.
Yeah. We did a Twitch stream, a watch along for a game, and we got to raise $500 for all those charities that are raising money. And it's the players of all the corresponding teams helped put it together. So it's really, really cool. We've seen a friend of the show, Zach Valentin, put stuff together.
Brad Stuver,
Tanner Tessman from FC Dallas. So it's really cool how they're all trying to help support and give back. And they're also dealing with the same exact problems as well, right? With not having a lot of these resources. So a lot of love to everybody in Texas that is going through what they're going through. And we're trying to help any way we can. So let us know if there's anything more we can do. All right, we got some other stuff
we got this dope shirt from friend of the show. Look at this.
Yeah.
Mexican soccer show. How cool
Amelia
is this?
sent us these. Thank you so much.
And she was a great guest on our show. Her and Ali. Remember Ali? And her
Correct.
son.
All right.
So it's super cool to
check out Mexican Soccer Show. Amelia Lopez is one of the co-hosts on there. Do great work. So thank you so much, Amelia, for sending us those.
Also,
okay.
I want to thank Trish Murphy for sending us this is really cool coffee. She sent us a bunch of this Nate's coffee that she helps brew, which is so cool, and I can't wait. I've already tried some of it, and it's absolutely incredible.
Okay, yeah. I'm not a big coffee guy.
No, she said UT, but my wife has taken it. So
okay, you know what? Dee deserves it. She's a superstar on Twitch. So
yeah, she is. Her yelling at me has already garnered so many views. She also put one of these. I don't know if you can see this. It's like a Nate Snacks. It says. It doesn't zoom on that. Doesn't do it. But it's called Blue Monday Sweets. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna try it. So.
Okay, yeah, I have. I was just mentioning it. Speaking of D, there's a clip from the last Twitch stream that we did that is like out of context. It's just like, wow, Alexis's wife is just abusing him.
When you clip it, I saw that one. It's just me trying to eat French fries and I'm being belittled. But if you saw what happened before that, you're like, oh no, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, well, not getting yelled at by D, but next we have Julian Gressel, absolutely friend of the show. Happy to have him back, so stick around. Come back after this. Hi, baby, and we're back on a Cooligans Living Room FC, and Christian, our guest, is finally here.
I mean, it's nice to have one of the homies, to reconnect. All right,
just an old friend, who moved away, but it's like we've been cool this whole time. know,
definitely staying in touch. The WhatsApp group chat is lit. All right,
okay. This is a little different than older friends of mine who I'm like, let me know when your girl's out of town and she won't be mad that you're hanging out with me. Like that's how I usually have to see my old friends. But this old friend, I mean, one of the most important moments of our career was opening a comedy festival with a soccer podcast.
Yeah.
And this dude must have just not had the right people around him because he said yes.
You know, he was just a misguided rookie, right? He didn't know what he was getting himself into.
His agent at the time just wasn't paying attention to emails. I don't know what happened, but somehow we found a way to get this dude on our show, and it absolutely changed the course of the Cooligans career. And I'm so happy to sort of, touch base and see where you've been since you changed our careers. Ladies and gentlemen, you're a midfielder for your DC United. The one, the only. Pull over the car and put your hands together for the one, the only Julian Gressel, everybody.
What's up, guys? Good to be here. I'm still waiting for my checks in the mail. Your careers have taken off, so I'm still waiting for those to come in. But
look, I mean, we joke around, but so obviously we hosted a show at the Red Clay Comedy Festival. A soccer podcast starting a comedy festival was ridiculous. In the comedy world, it's definitely ridiculous. In the soccer world, I think a lot of people in the soccer world were like, all right, I guess there's going to be a soccer player at a comedy festival. Why not? But that moment that you were there, and it was a really fun show. I mean, you didn't know us. I don't think you knew what to really expect, and the fact that it went so well, people were laughing, people were having a great time. There was a lot of banter back and forth.
You must have thought we were wildly unprofessional because at some point I just started eating pizza during the interview.
No, that was fun. I had a great time. I spoke to my wife the other day when the request came in to come on your show, and I was super excited again. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I remember these guys. That was a really good night we had." Like you said, I was a rookie, and it was everything was new to me. But that was one of the really good nights that first year for sure.
Yeah, look, it really showed, and we have a lot of questions from fans, but clearly Atlanta United and the Atlanta United fans just absolutely loved you. I mean, it couldn't have even been any more perfect because Atlanta United was playing against Philadelphia Union, and you scored the night before the show that you were going to be on.
Thank you so much for preparing. You came in with enough buzz.
It worked out absolutely perfectly, but I think that was a great for a lot of people. It was a great introduction, I think, for you to meet fans in a different way, and I think that's kind of the fun of like doing a show like ours.
Yeah, that's how the relationship, has started to build through stuff like that. Where that feeling is certainly mutual. I absolutely love the fans in Atlanta. They've been great to me and to all the other players as soon as we started. I mean, it's obviously it went down a little different path since then, but I was so happy to be part of that night. And you're welcome for scoring and kicking off your career with that.
You absolutely did. And so much has changed since then, right? I think when we met your lady at that time, you weren't engaged, or maybe you had just gotten engaged, right? You weren't.
I don't think we were engaged yet. No, I think we got engaged after that season. Right. And then another year, got married. Now we have a 3-month-old daughter. It's all
congratulations.
Kind of
it's
amazing.
So
Christian and I are literally doing the exact same thing we were doing.
Can I tell you this story? This is a real thing that happened to me at the MLS All-Star game in Atlanta. So
this is hilarious.
At the party like that before the game, I'm in Atlanta and I see a woman there and I'm like, that's Julian Gressel's wife. Like, I think he had just gotten engaged, maybe, or whatever.
No, it was engaged.
It was engaged. And I was like, I remember meeting her, and I know we're in Atlanta, so probably Julian's around here, and that's her. And I went up to her, and I said...
This woman, by the way, is just like putting food on her plate, minding her own business. No. Here comes Christian.
And I went up to her, and I said, hey, how you doing? And she recognized me, so I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I said, congratulations. And she was like, for what? I was like, on your engagement. And she's like, to who? And I'm like, oh, wait, oh, no, I'm sorry.
So it turns out this is a very single woman who is at a party
And she
just
knew me.
feeling confident, and then here comes Christian knocking her down a peg to be
And
like, "Oh, you ain't the lady who's engaged."
She knew me because she was an NYCFC employee, and that's why she recognized me. But she looks exactly like your wife, and I was so embarrassed. It was so
That's funny. That's a funny story. That's awesome. My wife loves you guys too, so I'm sure she would have still recognized you.
Okay, that's
Even
very
though we
sweet.
roasted her for saying she didn't like pizza at first, but you've
It's gotten
changed
worse
so
since
much.
then too. I gotta tell you.
We got
She's
to
become
work
like
on
gluten
this.
free now, so it's a whole ordeal, and it's but no.
I think this is why you had a
some
kid.
good gluten free pizza out there still though.
Yeah, there is. I think
found
this
some
is
good
why you had a
places.
kid, Julian, so that you could have someone to eat pizza with. You're like, if the wife's not
right.
going to do it.
That's right.
We're gonna team up against her, you know.
Talk a little bit about, coming out of college and going to a team like Atlanta, especially at the era that you were there. Huge level of expectations, fun team, winning every game basically. Now you switch to DC United. Were you prepared for that shift? Were you sort of kind of like, well, this is similar from coming out of college and sort of having to make your name, or were there so much more expectations on you now because now you are a big ticket item, right?
No, there were definitely more expectations. I think it's a different stage in my career, which was fine with me. I didn't really, I like those expectations because that means I've done well before, and I obviously want to continue to do well, right? And obviously last year didn't work out for me personally, as I had hoped, and obviously for DC United not either. But those are growing pains, and you got to go through those years sometimes where you have a little downside, and then you grow as a person, as a player. But yeah, no, the first few months in DC were much different than the first few months in Atlanta, just because of different expectation and different what you wanted to achieve for yourself. Because I knew I've been there, I've kind of done it consistently over the 3 years in Atlanta, and I wanted to continue that in DC, and I wasn't able to do it as much last year. So hopefully we'll have a better season this year.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I'm curious about the trade in itself, because your kind of situation was somewhat unique and confusing to people. And obviously, Atlanta United fans did not want you to go, but you were at a point where you're like, look, I'm playing very, very well. I'm outperforming maybe like an MLS draft pick kind of normally does. So it's totally understandable. It's like, I need to get paid, and but working within those rules within MLS, like as a player and as that commodity, how did it feel being in sort of in that position where almost like Atlanta had to let you go, or they couldn't necessarily keep you?
Well, those were difficult conversations and difficult times, that have gone on for a long time. It wasn't just in 1 month we talked about a new contract.
Okay.
It was, over, I think after we won MLS Cup, that's kind of when it started, or when Atlanta initially made the move to potentially get a new contract done, which then actually never happened, and it kind of just dragged out. And by the end of that year, 2019, I was like, well, what's the deal? I would like to sign a new contract here, but so it was a tough situation, and I never wanted to leave, but I think the longer it kind of took, the more I realized for myself that you might not get what you want here, or you might not be viewed as you would have liked to be viewed, it was bittersweet. At the same, we loved Atlanta, we loved the fans, we loved the stadium, the training facility, everything's great, but at the same time, you want to be appreciated and want to be valued the way you value yourself, and you think you what you bring to the table in that organization, and so it was a process that ultimately led to where I was okay with it, and I just knew it was just a different way my career was going to go, and that's fine. That's the game, that's soccer, and that's why you have clubs like DC United now that were then really interested in me, that wanted me to come in and be one of the leaders of the team, and especially after getting rid of or having just left with Wayne Rooney and Lucho Costa. So they needed some players, to come in and really step up as leaders as well. And then I saw myself in that role, and that, I was happy to have clubs interested in me like DC, and that they gave me the contract, that or close to what I was looking for. And but again, it was a long process, and can we just get back to talking fun stuff again? These things are hard to talk about. But
yeah, I don't want to bring up old stuff or whatever. But it's just it was mainly just my curiosity, because I know it was
I'm sure Atlanta fans are curious about that stuff as well. And you never really know everything, especially as a fan. So I know I can tell you guys that there's been a lot of conversations. And it was a long process, and the longer it took, the more I realized that, there might be a change coming very soon, and the more I was okay with it too.
Yeah, and that's the business. That's the business side that we can't escape, and I think everybody understands that part.
That's right.
All right, we got so much more with Julian Gressel coming right up.
Hey guys, Kevin Fredes, and I kicked it with the Cooligans today.
All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. We are here with DC United midfielder Julian Gressel. And Julian, we spoke about this a little bit when we did that live show in 2017. But we were talking about the possibility of Julian Gressel representing the U.S. men's national team someday in his life. Is that a thing? I know you were born in Germany.
You got an American baby, though.
Okay, that definitely helps. Ever since then, there have been comments from U.S. men's national team coach Greg Berhalter saying that we would be interested in having Julian Gressel on the team, and that
to quote him, he said, "I'll wait for him."
Ooh, okay.
My wife doesn't even say that when the food arrives.
So we had a bunch of questions from Gully Squad, our supporters group. Thomas A. Thorne basically asked the same question. So what is the prospect of that, and how are you feeling about that now?
Well, I certainly appreciate the comments from Greg Berhalter, right? I think it's an honor for him to mention that, and because he doesn't need to talk about me. I'm so far away from even the possibility of me playing there that it's obviously an honor for him to say that, and to have me in his mind, obviously, is kind of cool. But there's still, I think, next year, either April or May, that's when I would be eligible to become a citizen. That's when my green card, or I've had my green card then for 3 years, I think. That's the first time when it would even be a possibility. But until then, I'm just going to continue to hopefully play better than I did last year in MLS, and then win some more games. And that's really all I can control right now. I'm just going to try and focus on that. And then if the possibility is there, I think it'd be a tremendous honor. And I think if there was no way for me to get a call up from Germany, then and the US would be interested to call me up into a camp or for a game or whatever, I'd be very honored to represent the US. I've been here now for a long time and call this my home. So it'd be a cool thing for sure. But for now, we still got to wait a little bit.
Okay. I'm sure it's a dream of yours, just like any other soccer player, to play in a World Cup, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And obviously there's a big chance of playing in the US in the World Cup. That might be in a few years, but but like I said, that stuff is not feasible right now for me, unless it's for Germany, and then we'll kind of see what happens with the US situation as that kind of comes up.
So let's just say the Qatar World Cup is going to be in the winter. So there's a little bit of an extended period.
The timing is actually great.
I know, right? There's a little bit of extra time, right? So let's say you become eligible for the U.S. What I've Googled said December. I'm assuming you know better than what Google pulled up. So we'll use April. April, you now become eligible. You haven't received a phone call from Germany. You get a phone call from Greg Berhalter, and he says, "Hey, we want you in the camp." What do you say?
Yeah, I'll come in.
Nice. All right. Well, Greg is from Jersey. I'm gonna send him a couple text messages. I don't have his number, but I'll figure out a way to make sure this happens.
Okay.
No, I think the December thing you got because we got married in December. We got married late December, so But then I didn't get the green card until I want to say April or early May or something, and then so it depends what the timing is there.
This is just so amazing. But when it comes to U.S. men's national team stuff, like fans are like, all right, he got married on the 31st. Okay, so now look, we can make this work. You know,
it was a cold day. They got the red string on the wall.
But let me say that the pool has gotten so much better over the past year or two. It's been incredible to see the talent come in, and I think Greg Berhalter has some tough decisions to make when it comes to that time. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see if I will be in that mix or not. Is obviously still ways away, and all I can control is to play well in MLS, and everything else we'll just kind of see when the time comes.
I'm curious about your connection to the German program. I mean, in 2017, 2018, winning MLS Cups, we were on our show talking all the time, maybe Julian plays for the U.S. men's national team, but that'd be a long time. But what if Germany calls him up right now? I mean, he's absolutely balling. Were there any kind of inklings or just even thoughts that might be a possibility? I know getting on the German first team is obviously the competition is really, really intense, but do they look at MLS players, the German MLS players, that way?
Well, I don't think so. And I think I never received any sort of inquiry or call or any type of, hey, what do you think kind of thing? No, nothing. I think the talent pool is so deep in Germany, in the Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, and they play in England, they play all over Europe. Yeah. And so it's just tough, it's tough to get in there, and then playing so far away might be more difficult to get, even more views and stuff. But, I never really expected it. Even when I was playing really well in 2018 and we won MLS Cup, you're a bit more in the media in Germany as well. That, might have broadened my reach a bit over there, where people are now more aware of me, especially in my hometown. They had an article every single day almost.
Every assist,
I'm big in Germany, fellas. Oh my God.
No, but so I don't know. I don't know how much they considered it or not, but it's nothing that I've ever heard or never really expected to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, playing for a national team is an honor either way, right? Especially if it's your adopted home of the U.S., and especially if Christian and I will do everything we can to make sure the German team doesn't call you, so that Greg Verhalter calls you.
Okay, yeah. We're actively trying to sabotage.
Push it over the edge.
Yeah, that's what we want to do, right?
I love it.
When you look at, you're with DC United and you got a new coach coming in, Hernan Lozada. Hey, Argentinian coach again? You did pretty well the last time, right? Are you excited? Are you getting the mate ready to show up?
I know. I think I'm getting excited. Yeah, it's something new. Something new. I think the club needs, in DC, and some new blood, some young blood, exciting, energetic. That's kind of the words I would use to describe from what I've gotten to know him like. I've had a 30-minute Zoom call with him. So far, I haven't seen him, but I think it's a great hire for DC, and I'm certainly excited to play for an Argentinian coach again, just because my track record with them, and I'm kind of pumped to get going.
Yeah, nice.
And you continue working on your Argentinian Spanish. That's all. Exactly. I mean, it's always fun.
Yeah, we got more with Julian Gressel. We get back after this.
Hey, I'm Matthew Wolf, and I just kicked it with the Cooligans. Hey, I'm Matthew Wolf, and I just redesigned it with the Cooligans. Hey, I'm Matthew Wolf, and I just rebranded with the Cooligans. I'm Matt Wolf, and I just put a drop shadow on the Cooligans.
All right, baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC. Obviously, we're here with Julian Gressel and Christian. This is exciting. We have a new segment here. Obviously, we're big fans of kits, My wife, not as much. She's like, could you get them out of here, please? There just seems to be a lot.
We're running out of closet space, yeah.
Yeah, which, by the way, she has like 4 times the amount of closet space I have. I'm not here to complain about it.
Okay,
Julian, if you want to talk about it, we'll chat later. It's a lot. But obviously, look, there's the whole thing with kits is yo, I like this kid more. No, I like that kid. So we said, you know what? Let's just do a kid battle. So we're going to compare two jerseys, all right? And up first today, we have the 2021 DC United kit, okay?
The new
no
joint.
specific reason to bring that one up since Julian is here.
But yeah, the marble joint, okay? It's
When I first heard they were going marble, I'm like, yo, Arsenal, we did that already. I kind of like DC's. It's like a bit more subtle, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty chill. Honestly, I wish it was a little bit more pronounced, the marble, because you got to kind of like look, you got to squint a little bit, and then you're like, okay, now I see what they're doing.
I like how you took what I said and you were like, yeah, but no. Okay, cool. And we're going to compare that to the 2006 Germany World Cup kit. Also no reason to do that since Julian Gressel's here. Julian, were you a fan of the 06 Germany kit?
Oh, I love that jersey. Just because, not just because it's simple in the design and you know, it just represents Germany in the design quite well, but what it means to me and what that time meant to so many Germans, I think there's just a deeper meaning behind it than just a design, right? So, you know, the time 2006 in Germany when the World Cup was hosted in Germany, and it just, there was so much energy in the country, and it was such an amazing time, you know, and it was so much fun. So to see the team play in that kind of jersey, and to see that jersey after now, kind of just, you know, brings up some of those emotions again. So it just means more than just the design, when you have that little more of a connection with it. Same as, you know, with other jerseys that I've worn now, you know, you love certain jerseys that you just feel good in, that you've won a couple of trophies in, that, you know, they will just always have a special place in
See,
your heart.
yeah, look, for you look at a jersey like this and you think back to, like, you know, you were a kid then and this was happening in the country and all. I look at this kit, and since I don't play, obviously, I don't know if you know that about me, I don't play at a very high level of soccer. I look at this kit, the first thing I think of is a big dude wearing this, is those curves. They're gonna go right around your belly. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? It looks like a parentheses around your belly.
Julian Gressel, is that a thing you worry about? You know, your belly being too pronounced?
No, because it's abs. The whole world's saying, like, look, abs are here. For me, that's not what's happening.
If I have to worry about my belly, I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But I see your point. But, you know, like I said, I just feel like a jersey like that means more than just the design. And, you know, if it pronounces my belly in 15, 20 years when I wear it a little bit more, then so be it.
Yeah.
Good. We have the same energy.
Yeah, I mean, but looking at this jersey just reminds you of good times when it comes to German football, because last couple of years have not been so great. Okay, they've been taking a couple L's in World Cups and international tournaments. So, what do you think they could turn things around?
Yeah, of course. You know, I think Löw has obviously been there quite a long time as a coach, but the talent's there, you know, the players are there. So it's just a matter of finding the right balance, finding the right mix, and then getting, you know, everybody playing well at the same time. And, you know, Germany has always been a tournament team. You know, that's one thing that comes to mind when you think about the German teams usually. So I'm excited for the Euros, and kind of hopeful, obviously, that you know, they can kind of erase some of those losses and turn back and play for a title.
We should have put up next year's Germany kit with next year's US kit just to anchor the point even more. But looking at the DC United kit, I mean, do you care about the design, or you're just happy the badge is there? That's your squad. Let's go play.
No, I think it's cool to look at. You know, I think you want to have some sort of resemblance of what the club stands for, what the city stands for. You know, those little things I think matter. You know, they obviously in the game they don't matter, but you know, when you are associated with the kit, you know, then I think it matters. And the marble obviously is a great way to associate us with DC. There's a ton of marble in the city, obviously. So, but you know, it's a white jersey that, you know, we'll wear away from home, that will kind of remind us of kind of where we come from a bit. So, you know, it's certainly a good one.
Okay, and if we're gonna put you in a really tough position here. If you had to pick, you could only wear one. You know, you have to. Which is the winner? Which is the better kit right now? Okay, the 2021 DC United kit or the 2006 Germany kit? Which one elicits more feelings from you?
Well, right now it's the Germany kit, but if we win MLS Cup in the 2021 DC United kit, then I might have to change it. So
You'd be
we'll
like,
see.
get these parentheses off my belly. I just won MLS Cup.
Okay, and if, for us, Alexis, what are you picking? Which is your favorite cat of these two?
Dude, I love old school kits. I've got the jacket actually from the 06, the Germany jacket from the 06 World Cup. So I love that kit. I love that squad. I love the whole thing around it. But if I had to pick, DC United's kind of dope. I like the marble, but Arsenal, I'm a big Arsenal fan. Arsenal already has marble, so I'm gonna go with the whole world's gonna see the parentheses around my belly. Let's do it. It's gonna look like a bagel too, because my belly button. It's gonna be a lot.
I look at the Germany kit, and it just reminds me of the U.S. men's national team losing to Germany in the World Cup, and it elicits too much negativity. I have the 1990 Germany kit that I like a bit more, so I'm gonna pick the DC United kit, the 2021.
It looks like, Germany wins right now, but if DC United wins MLS Cup, Julian switches his vote, and then DC wins.
That's right.
So it's up to you,
right.
DC United. You know what I mean?
We'll revisit.
Okay. All right, everybody. We have more with Julian Gressel coming right up. All right, another one in the books. Thank you so much, Julian Gressel, for coming back on the show. I mean, it's it's great that we have such a history. We came into the league together, and it's so awesome we
were all rookies, and now look at us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Let's hope we keep going like that, right? Keeps going up.
Julian, is there anything you want to let people know about before we sign off?
I mean, would love and appreciate a follow on all social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram. I'm pretty active at Julian Gressel on both. And I'm actually just starting or just started a new podcast. It's called The Soccer Podcast. Z spelled Z-E-E.
Okay.
A little German wrinkle there. I'm doing it together with another German who's also in the league, Fabian Herbers. He's playing for the Chicago Fire. And we're going to talk about, all things MLS, how our German culture and German background kind of influences our everyday life. And, just sharing some stories, some behind the scenes stories throughout as we go along through the season, and should be fun. That kind of comes from the Gressel special, obviously, because I enjoyed that really, really a lot last year, but turned into more of a podcast now without video. I'm excited to do that. So give it a listen and give us some feedback how that's going.
Okay, that's gonna be great. It's a little
coming into our territory,
something. Yeah, with the Cooligans.
I hope that in a few years, then I can turn it into a TV show like you guys, and then you have something else going on. So
then maybe we'll play soccer. Who knows?
Okay. Amazing, Julian. Thank you so much for joining us again. All right, right now we're going to do our goal celebration GIF. It is now becoming a tradition. We've had some incredible. We've had comedians. We've had players, goalkeepers do goal celebrate. Usually people who are not usually scoring a whole bunch of goals, but you are familiar with that. So what would you like your goal celebration GIF to be?
So imagine you just scored the goal that qualifies the U.S. for the World Cup.
That's a big one. But,
What's your goal celebration?
So I've actually thought about my goal celebration quite a bit over the last few weeks, especially, with my daughter here now. I was like trying to watch what she does at the moment. But at the moment, she's in a stage where she loves her thumb. So I'm just going to go with...
There we go. Amazing.
One,
Yeah,
just a little shout out to her. So it's cool.
Beautiful. Okay, Julian, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, make sure you follow us as well at Soccer Cooligans on all social media platforms. Follow at Fubo Sports, and please join Gully Squad if you'd like to submit questions to our guests. You can join at soccercooligans.com. All right, make sure you also subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for full episodes of the program. Okay, Julian, let us end the show the way we normally do, as is tradition. So for Julian Gressel, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we? The Queen!